Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Brunswick's Best, where Lance takes a look at the greatest players in Minnesota Vikings history. This week, spotlighting the number 25. Probably a little slimmer pickings, I'm guessing, this week, but why don't you lay that list on us, Lance, and tell us who you got.
You know, there's been quite a few players to wear the number 25 for our team, but very few players that have wore the number and done anything of any significance, honestly. Luckily with this week, I went and I'm going to use a write-up by Christopher Gates out of the Daily Norseman. He had some good write-ups there. There were, like I said, there wasn't a big abundance of big names. I liked what I've seen out of Chris's write-up, so we're going to go with that this week. And with that being said, we'll start off with none other than Nate Allen. So now going back through the history, the first prominent number 25 for the purple and gold was defensive back Nate Allen. Allen joined the Vikings in 1976, his sixth season in the National Football League. He started on the team that went to the Super Bowl against the Raiders, and in that season he had 3 interceptions, which accounted for 60% of his total in his time with the Vikings. Nate, you made the list this week. Next, there was safety Kurt Knopf, who joined the team in 1979. A native of East Grand Forks, Knopf played for a couple of years with the Houston Oilers before joining the Vikings, and his first play as a member of the Vikings was an interception. That was one of 9 interceptions he would have as a member of the Vikings. He started every game in both 1980 and 1981, but only started 4 games in the strike-shortened 1982 season, after which he then ultimately announced his retirement. This week, Kurt, you make the list. Moving right along swiftly here. Lastly, we have another safety. Vincey Glenn. Now, a lot of you that started watching the Vikings back in the late 80s and early 90s are probably familiar with this name. Mm-hmm. I believe Rhino, you probably are familiar with his name.
Yeah, I remember him.
Glenn came to the Vikings in 1992 after 5 seasons with the San Diego Chargers and 1 with the Saints. He was a backup in 92, but claimed a starting spot with the Vikings in 93, starting 32 consecutive games for the Purple and Gold. He collected 14 interceptions in just 3 seasons with the Vikings, and for that, you get the last badge this week for Brunswick's Best. Now, I do have one honorary mention that was brought to light a little earlier before we recorded, and that is none other than L-Train Latavius Murray. He also had a couple of good years in the purple and gold, spelling Delvin Cook in the backfield. I think he had 1 year where I think he started 8 games for us.
Yeah, the 2017 season.
Right. Yep. And I always enjoyed him. And you know what? Everywhere Latavius Murray has went, there's been doubters that have doubted him, and he's done nothing but put up numbers his entire career, basically.
And he's still playing.
I think he's with the Bills right now. He doesn't get a lot of touches, but the dude balls. And with that being said, I know it's a short list this week. Not a lot of information out there, but that wraps up Brunswick's Best for this week.
All righty. Want to thank everybody for joining us again this week. Programming note, Lance and I will be going live Friday night, 6 p.m. Central Time, to break down and preview the border battle this weekend against the hated Green Bay Packers. So make sure you tune in for all that.
Things are looking up, folks.
Looking up, looking better. We're only a half game out of the wild card spot. We're only 2 games out for the division.
We're not even out of the division race now.
No, we control our own destiny for the NFC North right now because we still play Detroit twice.
And if you didn't catch last week's episode of Vikings Uncensored, go back and watch that because there's a lot of good information in there as well.
Absolutely. So with that, you guys have a good rest of your evening. We'll see you Friday night live to break down some cheesehead talk, and let's go out and get another win this weekend. So we'll be getting have a good night, everybody.
First down and 10 at the 35. intercepted. Picked off by Vincey Glenn. 1st and 10, Green Bay. Far back. Pumps and goes deep into double coverage for Sterling Sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Vincey Glenn, his second of the day. Harry Sidney knocks him out of bounds. 3rd and 5. Sharp intercepted at the 15-yard line. Vincey Glenn, that's 3.